So everyone goes home, and that's when they begin celebrating Sukkot. They usually have their sukkah already built, but that's when the festival begins.
ですから皆様とも今日その一つの働きでですね、仮をみんなで作ってもらいたいと思いますので、どうぞゲストの方、音楽が始まったら来ていただいて、ここで一つ受け取っていただいて、上につけるなりここにつけるなりしていただきたいと思います。
So we want to invite any guests to come up and take some of these leaves and decorate the sukkah.
山本先生どうぞ、はい、どうぞ来て、はい、作って、はい、かなちゃんも、はい、子供たちも行って、子供たち上に上げないとできないかもしれない。はい、始めましょう。どうぞゲストの方来ていただいて、一人一個じゃないとね、あんまり数がないからお願いしますね。ワン、2、そう。あとお父さんにあげてもらわないといけないな。よいしょ、よいしょ。ちょっと真ん中の。一人一つね。私たちのビルのですね、屋上にはまず今度の10倍ぐらいの大きなスッカが、立ってるわけです。
On our roof, we have a sukkah about 10 times as large as this at our center.
そこでは食事をしたり、神様の言葉はそこで寝なさいと言ってますから、時間がある方はここでキャンプをして寝るようなこともいたします。
God's word says to rest and to eat under the sukkah, and that's what we do.
ありがとうございます。それではお祈りを持って始めていきたいと思います。
Let's open in prayer.
まだ前の方が空いてるよ。お、よっしゃ、来たね。
前の方にも
詰めてあげて、雅子さんちょっと一つ詰めてあげてください。そしたら外に入れるから、そこ入れるでしょ。渡辺家そこ入ったら、そこ入って。そこ入って。
雅子さん
のように入って。座布団の中にもらって。ありがとうございます。はい、それではお祈りして始めましょう。愛する天のお父様、ありがとうございます。あなたは今日という日をお作りくださった方であります。
Heavenly Father, thank you for today. You are the one who created this day for us.
今日はカリオの祭りの第5日目です。
Today is the feast of Tabernacle Sukkot, the day 5.
したがって私たちは喜びますし、また今日は アメリカのラーバイ・ジェシーさんが私たちのためにトーラスコールを持ってきてくださいました。
So we celebrate today also because Rabbi Jesse has brought us this Torah from the U.S.
したがって私たちは初めから終わりまで聖霊様の導きを持ってこの聖会をあなたに捧げたいと思います。
So today we really rely on the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, to guide us as we go forward.
イエス様の名前を通してお願いいたします。
In Yeshua's name we pray.
私の一番思いはですね、ネヘミヤ記という聖書がありますね、ネヘミヤ記。
In the scriptures we have the book of Nehemiah.
その8章のところにですね、8章のところにイスラエルの民がバビロニアの捕囚から終わってきてカリオの祭りを祝ったことが出てきます。
In chapter 8 of Nehemiah, it talks about when the children of Israel came out of Babylon. First thing they did was they celebrated Sukkot.
私が日本語で久さんが英語で読みますからお聞きください。2日目にすべての13節からです。2日目にすべての民の一族の頭たちと祭司たち、レビ人たちは律法の言葉をよく調べるために学者エズラのところに集まった。こうして彼らは主がモーセを通して命じた律法トーラーにイスラエル人は第7月の月の祭りの間カリオの中に住まなければならないと書いてあるのを見つけ出した。これを聞くと彼らは自分たちのすべての町々とエルサレムに次のようなお触れを出した。山へ出かけていきオリーブ、野生のオリーブの木、ミルトス、ナツメヤシ、また枝の茂った木などの枝を取ってきて書かれている通りにカリオを作りなさい。そこで民は出て行ってそれを持って帰り、それぞれ自分の家の屋根の上や庭の中、または神の宮の庭や水の門の広場、エフライムの門の広場などに自分たちのためにカリを作った。捕囚から帰ってきた全集団はカリを作り、そのカリオに住んだ。ヌンの子ヨシアの時代から今日までイスラエル人はこのようにしていなかったので、それは非常に大きな喜びであった。神の律法の書は最初の日から最後の日まで毎日朗読された。祭りは7日間祝われ、8日目には定めに従って清めの集会が行われた。
Nehemiah 8, verse 13 to 18. On the second day, the heads of the families, along with the Kohanim and the Levites, gathered around Ezra to ponder the words of the Torah. They found written in the Torah that Adonai had commanded Moses that Bnei Israel should dwell in Sukkot during the feast of the 7th month, so that they should proclaim and spread this message in all their towns and in Jerusalem, saying, Go out to the hill country and bring olive branches and wild olive branches, myrtle branches, palm branches, the branches of other leafy trees to make Sukkot just as it is written. So the people went out and brought branches and made Sukkot for themselves, each on their own roof, in their courtyards, in the courtyards of the house of God, in the plaza before the water gate, and in the plaza of the Ephraim gate. The entire assembly, who had returned from the captivity, made Sukkot and dwelt in the Sukkot. Since the days of Joshua the son of Nun, until the day Bnei Israel had not done so, and the joy was very great. Day after day, from the first day to the last day, he read from the scroll of the Torah of God. So they kept the festival for 7 days, and on the 8th day, according to the regulation, there was a solemn assembly.
私はこの喜びがですね、やはり日本、要するにイスラエル以外のところにもこの祭りを祝うこととトーラ、神様の言葉を語るところにですね、現れると私は思いたいのですね。
So my hope is that this celebration of Sukkot, the feast, understanding of Torah, would be celebrated not just in Israel, but also in other places of the world.
このことに関しては後ほどまたちょっとお話をさせていただきたいと思います。
And I'll speak about this more in a little bit later.
皆様方の前にちょっとそこから見えないかもしれませんが、後でラーベンが見せてくださいます。また説明してくださるんですが、ここにトーラーの巻物があります。
Rabbi Jesse will talk about this Torah. I don't know if you can see it from where you're sitting right now, but this is the Torah scroll over here.
わざわざフロリダの方からですね、私たちのために持ってきてくださったわけであります。
So Rabbi Jesse picked this up in Florida and brought it all the way to Japan for us.
でもフロリダが起源ではなくて、実は東欧のですね、ポーランドという国で作られたものです。
But this Torah was not born in Florida. It was born in Poland.
ご存知のように第二次世界大戦中にポーランドにいたユダヤ人の 90% はアウシュビッツとかそういうキャンプによって殺されてしまったことが事実なんですね。
And if you know your history, the Jewish community in Poland, almost 90% were wiped out by the Holocaust.
ジェシーさん、バラバラジェシーが後からその教えてくださいますけども、このトーラが一番最初に持っていかれた町の全住民は殺されてしまったそうです。
And Rabbi Jesse will speak more about this later, but it's almost guaranteed that the entire village where this Torah was from was wiped out.
しかしこのトーラが神様の力でですね、アメリカに渡り、そしてラバージェシーの力を持ち、これが私たちのこの日本に持ち込まれて、私たちにこれを維持していく、その責任を私は神様が与えてくださったと本当に感謝するんです。
But I'm very grateful that through all the circumstances, as unfortunate as they were, God has brought this Torah to us and given us the opportunity to take care of it.
そんなことも含めて今日はですね、共にこの祭りを楽しんでいただきたいと思います。
So with all this together, we really want to celebrate this festival today.
それではしばらく20分間ほどですが、賛美をし、私たちは神様の前に心を開いてまいりましょう。
So we'll open up with some praise and worship and open our hearts up to the Lord.
これはないかな。こんにちは。
Our Lord is great, and there is nothing better that we can do than to praise His name.
神は素晴らしい方、彼に褒め歌を歌う以外何もありません。
Oh, great
を送り出してくださっているのです。感謝します。あなたの光を私たちは身に受けて、あなたの光を人々に告げ知らせるものとして今私たちはここに集められています。主よ、感謝します。あなたの偉大な皆を、あなたを私たちは褒めたたえます。
ですね、ネヘミヤ記の8章のところはちょっとお話をさせていただきたいと思います。
So I want to speak a little bit from Nehemiah chapter 8, which we just read earlier.
17節のところに、捕囚から帰ってきた全集団が借りをつけてその借りを盗んだ。ヌンの子ヨシアの時代から今日までイスラエル人はそのようにしていなかったので、それは非常な大きな喜びであったと書いてあります。
In verse 17 it says, Since the days of Joshua the son of Nun, until that day, Bnei Israel had not done so, and the joy was very great.
この時のイスラエルの人たちが70年間のバビロニアの捕囚から帰ってきてこの祝いをしたんですね。
And the children of Israel at that time, they had been in captivity 70 years, and they had just returned to the land.
で、このトーラを見つけ、彼らは学者エズラからトーラの話を詳しく聞いたわけです。
And they got back to their Torah, and they were learning from Ezra about what's in the Torah.
トーラに書いてある通りにお祭りを祝ったら、それは非常な喜びであったと言われています。
And when they realized that they would be able to observe that which the Torah commanded, they were extremely overjoyed.
そのヌンの子ヨシアの時代から今日まで祝っていなかったからだって書いてあるんですね。
And it says that since the days of Joshua the son of Nun, that Sukkot had not been celebrated.
どのくらい長い年月だと思いますか？
Now, how many years do you think that is?
約430年間です。
That's 430 years.
それ間彼らはその祝い、トーラがあったにもかかわらずお祝いを毎年していなかったということでもあります。
That also means that even though they had Torah during some of that time, they were not celebrating Sukkot.
安息日を守らず、祭りを守らなかったがゆえに、ついに神様はイスラエルの地に安息を与えるためにイスラエルにいた全てのユダヤ人をバビロニアに捕囚させてしまったんですね。
And if you recall why Israel was taken away into Babylon, it's because they were not observing God's commandments, and when they came back is when they started fulfilling them again.
で、私もアメリカでですね、メシアニック10の集会の人たちと出会って、本当にこの祭りを祝ったところがですね、今まで体験しなかった喜びというのが与えられました。
So for myself, when I was living in the U.S. and belonging to a Messianic church community, when I first began to celebrate Sukkot, I also similarly experienced this joy of first celebrating.
昨日もラーバイ・ジェッシーがですね、このことを本当に救いの泉から水を汲み出すというイザヤ書の12章のところを引用してくれました。
Yesterday we heard from Rabbi Jesse about the waters of salvation, pulling up from the wells of salvation.
それと祭りの式典としてですね、祭司たちがシロアムの池というところから水を汲んできて、それを神殿に注ぎ出すという、そういう儀式があるということも教えられました。
They retrieved water from the pool of Siloam, and then they would pour out that water onto the altar. それはすべて私たちが植え乾いているもの、水が欲しい、何か満たされないものに対する神様の御霊なこと、聖霊だということをイエス様はおっしゃったんですね。And Yeshua taught that that is the outpouring of the Holy Spirit as well. That all the things that we do not understand or that we need cleansing from, the Ruach HaKodesh would be given. そしてザカリヤ書の14章の中には、イスラエルを攻めてきたすべての人たちは、またカリオの祭りを祝いに来なさいと書いてあります。In Zechariah 14 it says that all nations will come up, that they will honor the king, and they will also celebrate Sukkot. たくさんの祭りがある中で、カリオの祭りを祝いに来ない者には雨が降らないという裁きまで書かれているんですね。And out of all the festivals, all the moed that are in scriptures, specifically about Sukkot, it says that if you do not observe Sukkot in whatever nation, then you will not get rain. 水がなければ当然作物はないし、飢饉となってしまうことは明らかです。Of course, if you don't have rain, then your crops will not grow. それはまさに私たちの人生もそのものですね。And our spirits, our lives are the same way. どんなに植え替えている人にも神様の御霊が与えられれば、もう一度蘇ることができるのです。No matter how dried out someone is spiritually, if they receive God's water, then they will be revived. それはあなた方、私たちがですね、信じられるぐらい体験したこともないような喜びに変わっていくわけです。And our sadness will turn into an unbelievable, indescribable amount of joy. ですから、今
今日は私たちはラバー・ジェシーからトーラーのことをいろいろと学びますけども、それは私たちの心に刻まれるものだと、また預言者は私たちに教えてくれました。
So today we'll hear from Rabbi Jesse about the Torah, but may all that we understand and learn about the Torah be written onto our hearts.
今日皆様方はこの羊皮紙、羊の皮に書かれてるペン書きのですね、古いヘブル語の文字を見るはずです。
And you'll see that the paper is made out of animal skin, and you'll see the ink written on it, handwritten.
この手で書く作業のためにですね、ラバー・ジェセキに教えてくれたんですが、4000以上のレギュレーションがあって、規則があって、それをマスターしないとヘブル語の文字をトーラの用紙に書くことができないそうです。
As Rabbi Jesse spoke about yesterday, there are over 4,000 regulations as to who is and how to write this Torah scroll. And until someone learns all of them, they're not acceptable to write the scroll.
それだけの努力をなさってですね、ユダヤ人の方々はこのモーセの5章を世代からジェネレーション世代から世代へと維持してきたわけですね。
We need to understand how seriously the Jewish people take their word, and how from generation to generation they've carried out this task of recording the Torah and creating new ones.
当然ながらヘブル語を勉強しなかったら救いから漏れるわけでは決してありません。
Of course, this doesn't mean that if you don't study Hebrew, you will no longer be saved.
しかし私たちは本当にイエス様という方を心に抱き、そしてこのトーラを学ぶことによって私たちの人生はもっと素晴らしい喜びと楽しみにあふれたものになっていくものと私は信じるわけです。
But I believe that it is through our relationship and faith in Yeshua that we can fully understand the depth of Torah and learn more from it.
将来目次録にはですね、神の幕屋が人々の中にあるという言葉も21章のところに目次録の20章に書かれています。
In Psalm 24, it talks about how.
目次録Revelation.
Sorry. It talks about how
神の幕屋が人々の中にある。
That God's tabernacle is in each one of us.
まさにカリオという大きなカリオが人々の中にあって、そこは神の臨在する場所として神様は私たちに教えてくれているわけです。
So in each one of us there is a large tabernacle, a place for God to dwell, and God will show us how that happens.
私もたくさんのことをお話したいんですが、今から2人の2人というカップルなんですけれども、方がこのスープのために、カリオのためのプレゼンテーション、少し楽しいことをしてくれますので、ください。
So there's lots more I want to share, but I want to turn it over to Hannah and Lindsay Nishizawa, who have a special performance prepared for us. よろしく。
よろしく。あれがあるよね。スライドが。
はい、大丈夫だと思います。すみません、皆さん、英語でしますけど、すみません、日本語がこっちでお願いします。
Kingdom of beauty, a kingdom of love, a kingdom of justice and peace, a kingdom that holds all the wilds of creation, a kingdom where children will live.
Moses went up to God, and the Lord called to him from the mountain, saying, Now then, if you will indeed obey my voice and keep my covenant, then you shall be my own possession among all the peoples, for all the earth is mine. And you shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words that you shall speak to the sons of Israel.
I will speak, I will wait, I will send prophets among them, that they might hear, that they might see, and understand how much I love them.
Let them construct a sanctuary for me, that I may dwell among them. I will meet there with the sons of Israel, and it shall be consecrated by my glory. I will dwell among the sons of Israel, and will be their God.
Then they will know that I am Father, that they will know I am Lord. They'll walk with me and be my people. I'll walk with them as their God, as their God.
Now, when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down from the mountain, the people assembled about Aaron and said to him, "Come, make us a God who will go before us. As for this Moses, the man who brought us up from the land of Egypt, we do not know what has become of him." Then Adonai spoke to Moses, "Go down at once, for your people whom you brought up from the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They quickly turned aside from the way which I commanded them. They have made for themselves a molten calf and have worshipped it and have sacrificed to it and said, 'This is your God, O Israel, who brought you up from the land of Egypt.' The Lord said to Moses, 'I have seen this people, and behold, they are an obstinate people. Now let me alone, that my anger may burn against them, and that I may destroy them, and I will make of you a great nation.'"
Then Moses entreated the Lord his God and said, "O Lord, why does your anger burn against your people, whom you have brought out from the land of Egypt? Why should the Egyptians speak, saying, 'With evil intent he brought them out to kill them in the mountains, and to destroy them from the face of the earth'? Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, your servants, to whom you swore by yourself, and said to them, 'I will multiply your descendants as the stars of the heavens, and all this land of which I have spoken I will give to your descendants, and they shall inherit it forever.'"
So the Lord changed his mind about the harm which he said he would do to his people.
I will strike, I will scourge, and carry out vengeance upon them. I will heal the wounds I make, and tenderly take them back to me. Then they will know that I am Father, that they will know I am Lord. They'll walk with me and be my people. I'll walk with them as their God.
Now, in the first month of the second year, on the first day of the month, the tabernacle was erected. Then the cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle.
This is heaven, this is salvation, this is the great hope and mine.
Behold, the days are coming. It is a declaration of Adonai, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not like the covenant I made with their fathers in the day I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt. For they broke my covenant, though I was a husband to them. It is a declaration of Adonai. I will put my Torah within them. Yes, I will write it on their heart. I will be their God, and they will be my people. No longer will each teach his neighbor or each his brother, saying, "Know Adonai," for they will all know me, from the least of them to the greatest. It is a declaration of Adonai. For I will forgive their iniquity, their sin I will remember no more. Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, a virgin will be with child and bear a son, and she will call his name Emmanuel.
He will come, my own son, a word faithful hearts can't help they will know that I am Savior, I am Redeemer and friend. Emmanuel, the God who is with them, the God who gives all He can. He is salvation, He is the kingdom. To know Him is paradise. Then they will know that I am Father, that they will know I am Lord. I am Lord.
In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. All things were made through Him, and apart from Him nothing was made that has come into being. In Him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overpowered it.
King of kings, born to Israel, born Emmanuel, giver of the word, breath of life, to Bethlehem He came, the star of Jacob's name, a light unto the world.
There came a man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify about the light, so that through him everyone might believe. He was not the light, but he came to bear witness concerning the light. The true light coming into the world gives light to every man. He was in the world, and the world was made through him, but the world did not know him. He came to his own, but his own did not receive him.
Jordan's waters, behold Him rise, King and God and sacrifice, come to proclaim the year of the Lord has come.
Yeshua began to proclaim, "Turn away from your sins, for the kingdom of heaven is near." Amen, I tell you, unless you turn and become like children, you shall never enter the kingdom of heaven. Whoever then shall humble himself like this child, this one is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven.
So near and yet still so far, far away, so close and yet still to come. Concealed, the seed is mysteriously growing in hearts that will listen and hear.
Yeshua answered, "Amen, amen, I tell you, unless one is born of water and spirit, he cannot enter the kingdom of God. What is born of the flesh is flesh, and what is born of the spirit is spirit. Do not be surprised that I said to you, you all must be born from above."
Treasure that's hidden, a pearl of great price, a fortune for those who believe. A kingdom of beauty, a kingdom of love, a kingdom of justice and peace. A kingdom that holds all the wilds of creation. A kingdom where children will lead.
But Yeshua called them over and said, "Whoever wants to be great among you shall be your servant, and whoever wants to be first among you shall be your slave. Just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many."
For now, this kingdom's a land of the lowly, a place for the time-plundered poor. Now our gentle king comes in peace on a donkey, but then on a charger for war.
Then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven, and then all the tribes of the land will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. He will send out his angels with a great shofar, and they will gather together his chosen from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other.
A battle in heaven, a war on the earth, to shatter the long darkened siege. A kingdom of beauty, a kingdom of love, a kingdom of justice and peace. A kingdom that holds all the wilds of creation. A kingdom where children will lead. The Lord is not slow in keeping his promise, as some consider slowness. Rather, he is being patient towards you, not wanting anyone to perish, but for all to come to repentance.
Not by our own strength, and not by the power of might, but by His Spirit it comes. Blinded eyes will see, and deafened ears will hear the praise from the lips of the dumb.
A kingdom of beauty, a kingdom of love, a kingdom of justice and peace. A kingdom that holds all the wilds of creation.
A kingdom where children will lead. The kingdom of heaven may be compared to a king who gave a wedding feast for his son.
Adonai will then be king over all the earth. In that day, Adonai will be Echad, his name.
I saw the Holy City,
survivors from all the nations that attacked Jerusalem will go up from year to year to worship the King, Adonai Tzvaot, and to celebrate Sukkot.
Come dance team, come forth. 来てください。
歌うの？あ、そう。マイクロフォンの踏みになっちゃったんです。
ください。はい、はい、大胆です。みんなで踊りましょう。踊りましょう。はい、はい、お祭りは私です。どうです
So Rabbi Jesse and I, we met in Florida in 2003.
私たちは2003年にフロリダ州で出会って、
Because I went down to Florida to chase after my wife.
その裏を言うと自分の妻を追いかけるためにフロリダに行きました。
And I remember the day I first arrived in their synagogue, their Messianic synagogue, and Jesse came up to me and smiled, shook my hand, and instantly we were best friends.
でシナゴグに行った時に、メシアニックシナゴグに行った時に、握手した時にもうそこからもう、最高の友達になりました。
And there were, you know, some periods in my then girlfriend's relationship and I where we were not together, and I was very, very sad. So the only way I could be comforted was by sleeping on Rabbi Jesse's couch.
まあその時は今の妻が彼女だったんですけど、いろいろ大変だった時期の時は、ラバイ・ジェシーさんの、ソファの上で寝てました。
Now back then, he was not a rabbi.
その時は実はラバイではなくて、
And we both first did ministry together as youth leaders
一緒にミニストリーをしてましたが、
in the Messianic Jewish congregation there, which is also called Chayim.
その若者のミニストリーをしていたんですけど、そのシナゴグの名前はエツカインという、シナゴグでした。
Which is the same name as our congregation.
で我々田端のそのシナゴグと同じ名前です。
And so my father and mother were sent out from that congregation to set up this one here, and that was 15 years ago.
私の両親はそのシナゴグから、日本に、追い出されっていうかその追い出されじゃなくて、使わされ、その日本に、シナゴグを建てるために私たちは、親はそのそうですね。
So and since then, Jesse has continued serving in the congregation, and he also served as an assistant rabbi for a long time. He studied, he prepped, and now he's a senior rabbi. I think he's in his third or fourth year now. Fourth year as a senior rabbi.
今はシニアラバイとして4年目なんですけど、その前はいろいろと、研修など勉強を重ねて、ここまで来ました。
And Rabbi Jesse is also the, what do you call it, president?
President
of the Union of Messianic Jewish Congregations, or the UMJC.
UMJC そのメシアニックの団体のグループの、プレジデントリーダーでもあります。
Which is the largest Messianic organization in the world.
世界一番大きなメシアニック団体です。
And many congregations globally, mainly in the US, but globally as well, are members of the UMJC.
多くの、メシアニック団体もこの この団体の一員です。
So all that to say, Rabbi Jesse knows his stuff, and we will turn it over to him. Please give a round of applause for Rabbi.
拍手お願いします。
Good afternoon.
こんにちは。
It's my pleasure to be here with you today.
本当にここに来れて、嬉しいです。
And I've been to many seminars, attended many conferences like this.
はい、こういった集会によく出るんですけど、
And I know that sometimes they can get long.
ちょっと長くなってしまう集会が多いですよね。
And sometimes they can be boring.
時にはあんまり楽しくないですね。
I hope this is maybe long, but not boring.
まあ、長いかもしれませんが退屈じゃないように私は頑張ります。
When I present what I'm going to share with you today, the type of presentation that I love to do is very interactive. So I want you to participate with me.
これで私がプレゼンするだけではなく、私が一番好きなのは皆さんと一緒にいろんな質問あったりとみんなも関わりながらプレゼンしたいと思います。
What we're going to do today is a little bit of a history lesson,
ちょっと今日は歴史のことも学びつつ、
a little bit of a story,
物語ストーリーも話しつつ、
some about a Hebrew lesson, a language
ヘ
lesson,
ブライ語もちょっと学びます。
and we're going to talk an awful lot about the actual scroll itself.
実際このトーラについてもいっぱい学びます。
I'm going to invite you in a few moments to come up here and join me in the front, everyone in the room,
あと少しで皆さんにこちらに来ていただきますが、
because it's most important that you see with your own eyes, but do not touch with your own hands, please.
でもすごく見るのは大事なんですけど、決して触れることないように。
It's impossible to understand what we're going to share today if you cannot see the text.
今日ちょっと話すことはここにあるものを見えないとちょっと分かりづらいので、
And it's, if I will say so myself, actually quite an honor for anyone to participate in what we're doing today, because most people in their lives have never seen the text of the Torah.
ほとんど世界のほとんどの人はトーラの文字を実際に見たことない人がほとんどなので、ちょっと今日は光栄だと思います。
This includes Jewish people.
ユダヤ人を含めてです。
Okay. So today, I would like to begin with a little bit of a story about where this scroll came from.
最初はこのトーラについてのストーリーをお話します。
We know, absolutely, that this scroll is roughly about 100 years old.
100年ぐらいの年を持っているこのトーラですが、
We also know that this scroll was born in the nation of Poland in Europe.
ポーランドで生まれましたこのトーラは。
And we say that the scroll was born because the Torah itself does not have a beginning and it does not have an end.
トーラというのは始めのない終わりのないもので、生まれると私たちはよく言います。
So when a new scroll is created,
作られた時には、私トーラ作られた時には、
it is an extension or a continuation of every scroll that has ever existed.
すべての過去存在してきたトーラの、続きというふうに私たちは考えています。
May I borrow someone's Bible, please?
聖
Any
書を貸して
Bible,
もいいですか？誰かの聖書。
please? Thank you. I've never actually seen a Bible in, okay, this is not in Japanese, but, okay, so in English and in most languages, Bibles that have been translated look something like this.
聖書は大体こういう感じですよね。
And in the beginning of the Bible, you have information about where the Bible came from, who translated it, who printed it, where it was, maybe even where it was published, and the names of the people responsible for it.
聖書の最後のところには誰が出版したのかとか、いろんな情報がいろいろ書いてありますよね。これどこから来たのか、出版社とかいろいろ書いてありますよね。
And then you have a page that looks like this, which has the names of all of the books in the Bible.
その中の本のその名前を全部書いてありますよね、最初に。
And as you turn each page in the Bible, you have very often headings that tell you what the subject of that chapter is about.
旧約聖書の一番上のところなんですけど、その今の読んでる場所の箇所の、ちょっとした簡単な説明があったりしますよね。
And then you have a chapter number.
聖書の何章何節とか
And then you have verse numbers.
数字もありますね。
Okay. The Torah is nothing like that.
トーラは全然違います。
There are no introductions to any of the books.
全くその本を紹介するものでもなく、
There are no chapters.
章もなくて何章何節もなくて
There are no verses,
何もそういうのないです。
and there is absolutely no punctuation.
そして全くその丸とか点とかそういった書き括弧とか全然ないです。
This is very important for you to understand as you begin to understand what we're going to be sharing about the Torah today. Because much of what you think you know of the Bible may in fact be a little different if you read it without introductions, without punctuation, without chapters, and without verse.
皆さんが知っているような聖書っていうのは本当にやっぱり今日はちょっと違った、聖書の紹介すると思うんですね。なので皆様が経験してきたその聖書っていうのはその紹介だったりとか丸点だったりいろいろありますけど、このトーラは実際に全く違うものなんです。
It's a continuous story.
一つの物語なんです。
And it goes in a circle.
そして丸い展開が丸くなっています。
And this is the story of this scroll.
これはこのトーラの話。
This scroll was born roughly 100 years ago, as I said, in Poland.
100年前ポーランドで生まれ。
And the reason that we know it was born in Poland is not because the first page has publishing or dates or names.
それ知ってる理由はこのトーラの前にその出版社とか書いてあるわけではなく。
Instead, we must rely upon what the paper has been made of, and how the letters have been formed, and what kind of markings each letter has to accent them, to give us a clue about the age of this text and where it originated.
私たちはなんでこれを知ってるか、どこから来たかとか知ってるかというと、この紙の質と何でできているのか、そしてその文字がどういうふうに、強調されているのか、どういう文字になっているのか、そういった細かいことによってこのトーラがどこで生まれたかが、分かるようになるんです。
Okay. So, because we know that the scroll is 100 years old, and because we know the scroll originated in Poland, we can also understand several other things about this scroll.
なのでその100年前にポーランドで生まれたことが知っているので、他のことも、分かることになります。
As Paul, Sensei, shared with us a little earlier, unfortunately during the time of the Shoah, the Holocaust, most of the population of Jewish people who lived in Poland were murdered.
残念な話なんですけど、ポール先生も言ってましたが、やっぱりこのポーランドで生まれたこの第二次世界大戦の時は、多くのユダヤ人が、その戦争で亡くなってしまう、ホロコーストで亡くなってしまいましたね。
Unlike many of the communities in other countries in Europe, where large numbers of Jewish people survived, 9 or 9.5 out of every 10 Jewish people in Poland were absolutely murdered.
その時期の他のヨーロッパの、国々にはですね、生き残ったユダヤ人もいたんですけど、実際でも実はポーランドはすごく9割だったり9割以上が、本当に亡くなってしまったっていうすごい状況だったんです。
So how did the scroll survive?
なんでこのトーラが生き残ったのか。
Very often what happened with scrolls like this was that as the enemies of the Jewish people were coming towards them, the first thing that they removed from the community was the Torah scroll.
こうやってその敵が攻めてくるときにはよくユダヤ人はこの最初にとりあえずトーラを外に出さこれを持っていくっていうのが習慣でした。
They learned that this was absolutely necessary when they saw what happened to the Torah scrolls in Germany.
ドイツでそのトーラがすべて破壊されたことを見た結果、こういうことをすることを決意するようになった。
The vast majority of the scrolls of Germany were burned.
ほとんどドイツにあったトーラは、焼かれました。
So we know for sure that this scroll left Poland and traveled over the sea and landed in New York City.
なのでこのトーラは実際にそのポーランドを出発し、ニューヨークに、着陸しました。
New York has a very, very large Jewish population, a very religious Jewish population, a community that could be trusted with caring for this precious scroll.
ニューヨーク、皆さんご存知の通り、多くのユダヤ人が住んでいて、宗教的なユダヤ人も多く、やっぱりこのトーラがそちらに行ったら守られるっていう保証があったので、ニューヨークに送ったそうです。
It was entrusted into an Orthodox synagogue in New York, where it was used for many years as their regular weekly Torah scroll.
長い間このトーラはそのニューヨークのオーソドックスの、シナゴグでこのトーラが使われたんですね。
Unfortunately, the scroll, being as old as it is, became damaged.
なのですごく古いので、ちょっと、壊れてしまった部分もあります。
When a scroll is damaged, even if one single letter is not complete, it is no longer able to be used in the synagogue.
すごく厳しいんですけど、本当に一つの文字が、汚れたり汚れたり壊れたりしてしまうと、もうそのシナゴグでは一切使われちゃいけないっていうルールがあります。
Why is that?
なぜかというと、
Because we take the text, every single word, so seriously that even if one letter of one word has been damaged, we say the word of God is now incomplete.
私たちは考えていますけど、一つの言葉の一つの文字、ほんの少しが、壊れてしまう、汚れてしまって、もう分からなくなってしまった時には、私たちはすごく厳しく、これはもう一切使っちゃいけない。これは神様の御言葉をここまで尊重するからです。
So the scroll was sent to a man called a sofer.
なのでこのトーラはソフェルという人に送られました。
Sofer is a specially trained scribe.
ソフェルは長年の研修を受けてきた職種なんですけど、
Beyond this, he is also a master of Torah law.
そしてそのトーラのその法律についても長年の修行を受けてきた人なんです。
He must memorize 4,000 laws regarding the Torah before he can ever hold the quill to even place one letter on the paper.
4000個の法律をすべて丸暗記しなければ、もうペンも書き記す、トーラの中の字を書き記すことも一切できないのです。
So this Torah was trusted to this man to make all of the repairs of any letters that were even close to being broken.
なので壊れてしまったその一つ一つの文字を、少しでも壊れたものを彼に、託され、そして彼は修理したのです。
And somewhere along the line of his repair process, the synagogue who owned this Torah scroll was donated a brand new Torah scroll.
その最中にそのシナゴグで使っていたところに全く新しいトーラが送られてきたんですね。
So they asked this sofer, the scribe, to find a new home for someone who could defend and protect the history of this scroll.
なのでそのシナゴグは、さっきその修理してた長年の修行の、ソフェールっていう人が、修理の最中に修理が終わったら本当にこのトーラを守ってくれるすごく託せる、信頼できるシナゴグを探してくれると頼んだんです。
And just in the moment of time, I received a phone call from my friend Isaac.
その時私はイサクから電話が来ました。
And he said, We've been waiting 15 long years, and it's time for us to bring a Torah to Tokyo.
私たちは15年間、トーラを東京に持ってくるのを待っていましたとイサクが言っていました。
I began to search for a scroll for this community, and this is the scroll that I found.
私は、その時から、一生懸命このトーラを探していてこれを見つけました。
It took a lot of negotiating to convince this man to release this Torah to me.
すごく、長く時間を説得の時間が長かったんですね。その、せっかく託された、その彼に、この私にそのトーラをいただき、そしてその東京に持っていくことを説得するのがすごい時間がかかりました。
To say the least, he was very skeptical of bringing a Torah to Tokyo.
東京、日本にこのトーラを持っていくのが少し、ちょっと緊張というか、そのちょっとどうしてか、迷っていたっていうことですね。
I had to vouch for my friends. I had to stand for your character. I had to stand me for the character of the community.
私は皆さんの代表となって、本当に信頼できる方々ですよと私が保証した結果、
I had to assure him that this Torah would be protected by the very lives of the community here.
なのでこのコミュニティにこのトーラが守られ、本当に大切にされることを私は彼に保証したのです。
Can you imagine why he would be so worried about allowing the scroll to come here?
皆さんなぜそんなに、戸惑ったと思いますか？彼は東京、日本にこのトーラを送るのを。
Maybe it's just paper. Maybe it's just ink.
ただの紙、これはただの墨ですかね。ただのインクですかね。
This Torah represents thousands and thousands of people whose lives were extinguished like a candle, who could not have children, who could not have grandchildren. It represents the presence of God in the midst of a community that no longer exists. He had every reason to be skeptical of why we would bring this scroll here and whether or not it would be honored in the way that it should.
これはすごく何千人の、方々の、技術によって生まれたものであり、彼らは、もうこの世にはいない。そしてこのトーラっていうのは、彼らもうこの存在しないそのポーランドのコミュニティの中の神様の、御言葉であって、そしてもう彼らはもう子孫を残せないこういったすごく残酷な状況の中で生まれた存在したトーラなので、やっぱり、東京に送ることは戸惑った理由は分かりますよね。
So it was with great, I think, faith that he entrusted this scroll to me, and it is with great hope and with great love that I entrust it to this community. In the Jewish world, actually, you should probably translate that.
なので彼は私に託した時には本当大きな信頼、私は信頼を得て大きな責任を得て、私にいただいたんですけど、私はすごく大きな、希望と愛で、皆様このコミュニティに託したいと思います。
In the Jewish world, we describe very religious Jewish people who observe the Shabbat as Shomer Shabbat, and it means the defenders or the protectors of the Sabbath.
ユダヤ教の中で、本当宗教的で安息日を本当に、守る方々、の方々は、この安息日を守る人々と呼びますけど。
So, today we call you who have received this Torah Shomer HaTorah, which is to say the defenders of the Torah. And those who have received this Torah have now a responsibility to carry on the memory of an entire community of people who were murdered just because they were born Jewish.
安息日を守る人ってヘブライ語でショメール、シャバットというんですけど、それは安息日を守る人々。私はあなたたちに言うのは、ショメール、トーラ、それはトーラを守り抜く人々と今言いますので、多くの自分の命を亡くなってしまったユダヤ人、そのポーランドの亡くなったコミュニティのことを、本当に考えながら、そういった気持ちでこちらのトーラを、皆さんに託したいと思います。
So it's my privilege to share with you this story, but now I would like to invite you to come and to look at the scroll itself, and we're going to give you some opportunity to maybe learn a few things about the Torah, and then if you have some question, it's okay. I'm a very casual guy. Don't be nervous. Just ask whatever question you have, and I will be happy to do my best to answer the questions for you.
今はちょっと皆さんに前に来ていただいて実際見ていただきたいと思うんですけど、実際みんな照れず恥ずかしくなっていいので、私はすごく話しやすい人だと思いますので、何でも聞いてください。
Please join me.
ぜひ
Please join me.
まで来てください。
Okay. And they can come on all sides as long as.
こちらの方も。
Please just no flashes with your
フラッシュだ
cameras.
けはたかないでいただきたいです。
The flash can actually damage the parchment.
フラッシュはちょっと紙のダメージをしてしまう恐れがあるので、乾きちゃ絶対ダメ。
Just give them a few minutes to take a look, then we'll do some more explanation. The portion of the Torah that you're looking at now is the book in English that's called Exodus.
こちらの今皆さんが見ているのは、出エジプト記です。
And probably one of the most important parts of the Torah, which has become the foundation of most laws of most organized nations these days.
なので多分このトーラの中の一番大事な、その本がこの出エジプト記で、多くの国々はこれをもとに、出エジプト記をもとに自分たちの、文明だったり社会をこれによって作られているんですけど。
What you see before you are the words of the Ten Commandments, and I'll point them out for you in just a moment.
10回です。
Okay.
They're asking which is the front, which is.
I'll show them. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to stand here, or you don't need to? Or yeah. Okay. So a few basic things about the Torah itself. Hebrew, the language of Hebrew, is read from the right side, going left. So, if we were to look at a sentence would begin here and would move this way. Generally speaking, we do not touch the Torah with our hands. There's lots of good reasons for it. Like, for example, your hands could be dirty, or they could be oily, and they can damage the parchment. But the greater reason is we don't want to dishonor the text accidentally. Here, right here, this section are the Ten Commandments. Here.
That's all 10 of the commandments in that one section?
That's it. It's a little bit different than you might expect in English or probably in other languages, because in Hebrew, the way Hebrew sort of works is we push words together. So for example, we can have a lot of meaning in a very small amount of letters. In the Jewish world, we do not call them the Ten Commandments. In fact, they are called the 10 words. 10 words. It's different, right? Okay. As you look here, most of the commandments, not all of them, they begin with these two letters. This one here, and this one here. This letter is Lamed, and this one is an Aleph. And they mean together, no. So, you shouldn't covet, and you shouldn't steal, and you shouldn't, etc. Do you understand? So the word that comes after is the actual mitzvah, command. Okay? Good? Let's just talk about a few things that you see on the actual parchment itself. Each Torah is written in exactly the same way. They must be made by hand, and they must be made by the hand of a master. Students may study by watching their master. But they may never, ever, ever, even when they're studying, place the quill on the parchment. This is a big number. I don't know if you know how to say this number here, but In every Torah, there are the exact same number of letters.
すべてのトラの中に同じ文字数があります。
Over 300,000 letters.
実際に30万個。
On every single page of the Torah, there are 42 lines.
42行です。
Every page.
すべてのページで42行です。
A page of Torah, you will see, begins here and ends here, where there are dividers.
ここで終わります。
You will also notice that there are light lines here. Do you see these lines here?
よく見えますよね。
There are 43 lines.
43個あります、この線は。
This allows the scribe to make sure that he is absolutely accurate with every line of every letter of every word.
この線があることによって、すべてがもう本当に細かく成功させられる。で、正しく書かれることを。
Torah scrolls are incredibly valuable.
とっても価値のあるものです。
In fact, you cannot even have a Jewish community without a Torah scroll.
トーラがないと、ユダヤ系のコミュニティも成り立ちません。
It's not allowed. When you see things like this in the Torah scroll,
こういうのを見ると、
you might assume that this is a damage that was repaired.
これはダメージを修理されたものだと思うかもしれませんが、
In fact, this is not damage.
それは違い。
This is original to the parchment.
これはこの紙の中のそのこういった紙なんです。
Why does it look like this?
なんでこうなのか。
It looks like this because this is not paper.
これは紙でできたものではないです。
This is actually the flesh of a kosher animal.
そうですね。この羊だったりとか、そのコーシャーって何て言うんだっけ？
校舎でいいですね。
校舎の動物のもので作られる。
So maybe you've seen a cow, and you notice that a cow maybe has bumps on its skin or something. It has high marks and low marks in the flesh. That's where you get
そ
this.
の動物のその皮のいろんなものがありますよね。それによってこういうのが生まれてくると。
It's also why you see things like the different colors of the paper.
色がすごい違いますよね。
Because each animal's flesh will have different color.
なんでいろんな動物の皮によってそれが色が変わってきます。
The Torah scroll is made entirely of three elements.
3つのものでできています。トーラはすべて。
It's made from the hide of the animal.
その動物の皮ですよね。
It's sewn together with thread that is made from the veins of the animal.
その血管によっての糸で縫われるんです。この部分が。
And then you have wood.
そして木材ですね。
This is an example of these rollers here. These were rollers that were attached to this scroll.
このローラーがこのトーラにくっついてたものなんですけど、
These are probably not the original rollers.
一番最初にこれが書かれた時に使われたものではないと思います。
As the rollers get old and they break,
これ
they move like this.
どんどん吹けることによってこうやって回りますけど、
When they move like this, it makes it very difficult to actually roll the scroll.
それがどんどん開いたり閉めたりするのが難しくなるため、取り替えます。
Also, as they move up and down, they can actually damage the parchment.
そしてそのトーラ自体その皮自体を壊してしまう恐れもあるので。
So when I received this Torah, I inspected every word of the Torah.
私これいただいてもらった時に一個一個の文字を確認しました。
It was very important to me to make sure that the Torah was complete.
すべて完全なものを保証するために私はすべて
Torah scrolls are incredibly expensive.
とっても高いです。
They can begin at $10,000 or $12,000, and they can go till well over $150,000.
100万から1000万超えとか。
When I saw that the Torah was intact, complete, but the rollers were broken, I spoke to the scribe and I asked him to order me a new set of rollers so that they could be sewn into the scroll.
なのでこれちょっとこれがこのスク木の部分がちょっと壊れて動くのを見たので、これは全く新しいものローラーを、私は買って発注して私このトーラにつけてもらいました。
These rollers are called Chayim.
Chayim というローラーです。
It literally means the tree of life.
命の木。
The name, one of the names that is given to the Torah is also called Ayts, the tree of life.
トーラも、命の木とも言います。
We say a tree of life it is for those who take hold of it.
これを持つ者は、命の木。
And happy are those who support it or lift it up.
そして持ち上げる者は、幸いですと。
It's a very important aspect of the Torah in our lives.
大事ですね、これが。
A Torah will take anywhere from 12 months to 18 months to make.
1年から1年半ぐらいかけて作ります。
It's very important to understand that if a mistake is made when he is making the letters, he must stop. The
間
scribe.
違えてしまった場合、もう全く停止しなきゃいけないんです。
There are two kinds of mistakes that can be made.
2つの種類の間違いがあります。
There's a mistake on a common word.
一般の言葉の、間違いがっていうのは一つの間違いですよね。
So, for example, let's look at this word, lo.
Low
It means no.
してはいけませんっていうやつです。
If I don't make the letter correctly when I'm drawing this letter,
この文字で間違えた場合、
I must take a knife
ナイフを持ち、
and I must scrape the ink off of the parchment.
そしてそのインクをすべて、取らなきゃいけないナイフで、
And then I must begin again.
また一からやります。
This is a small mistake.
これはちっちゃいの間違いです。の場合です。
It can be repaired.
これはなんとかなります。
However,
が、
this word
この言葉でだった場合、
is probably the most important word in the whole of the Torah.
トラの中で一番大切な言葉です。
This is the name of God.
神の名前です。
When we see this word, we do not say the word.
この言葉を見るときには口にして言ってはいけないです。
And if we make a mistake on this word,
この言葉を間違えた場合、
this entire page
この全てのページのやり直しです。
is no good. It cannot be restored. He must begin
もう一から
on a new piece of parchment,
全く
sewing it back together, and beginning
ま
again.
たまた一からやります。
A parchment scroll cannot be thrown in the garbage.
そしてこの実際のこの皮の部分を
It cannot be burned.
燃やしても捨ててもダメです。
It's a living thing.
命のものなので、
So when it becomes beyond repair,
修理できない場合、
we bury them like we bury a human being.
人間のように
It's a sign of respect.
尊重するからです。
I'd like to show you a little Hebrew lesson for a moment here on the board.
ちょっとヘブライ語の勉強しましょう。
This is the word that we just pointed to, which is the name of God.
神様の名前これですね。
When Jewish people see this word, we don't say it.
ユダヤ人はこれを見るときには口出して言いません。
So I'm going to say something now, which if in your church or how you were raised in your faith, you learned it this way, I don't mean to offend you.
ちょっと失礼なことをしたくないですけど、人それぞれ考え方がありますけれど、
But I may say something that is different than your understanding.
皆さんが考えていることとちょっと違ったことを言っちゃうかもしれません。
Some people see this word and they translate it like this.
こういう読み方をする教会もいますよね。
We would never do this, ever, because we don't say this word.
私たちの考えですとしたら、これは絶対に書かないです。それとなぜかというと、この言葉を、口に出してはいけません。
In fact, when we see this word in the Torah or anywhere, we replace that word with a different word.
この言葉を見るときには他の言葉で入れ替えます。
There are really only three possibilities what you would say when you see this word.
これを見たときに3種類のことができます。
You would either say Ha-Shem,
ハシェムと言ってもいいですし、
and in English it means the name.
その名という意味です。
So, what we're saying when we see this is the name that we don't say.
なのでこれ見るときは言ってはいけない言葉です。
And why don't we say the name?
なんで言わないかというと、
Because we want to be absolutely sure that we do not bring dishonor to the name of God.
神様を尊敬するためにこういうことをします。
The other way we read it
もう一つの言い方
is
は
with this word, Adonai.
アドナイ。
Adonai means the
これ
Lord.
は主という意味ですね。
It's not a holy word.
それはその聖なる言葉ではなく、
As a matter of fact, if you work for someone,
誰かのために働く
your boss could be to you Adonai.
なので上司もアドナイという意味ですよね。
Because it either means the Lord or the master.
マスターという意味もあります。
Either one. So it's not necessarily a holy word, but we use this word when we see these
でも
letters.
この言葉を見るときにはアドナイって使うことがありま
Now,
す。
in some extremely religious communities, very observant,
すごく、宗教的なユダヤ教の、コミュニティでは、
even saying this or this is too much for them.
ハシェムもアドナイも、ダメっていうことです、ね。
So, they take half of each word
半々取っ
and they
て、
push them together,
合体さ
and you end up with Ado, shame, which means absolutely nothing. No, I mean really,
せ、
it's
意味のない言葉になっちゃうんですけど、
what it means is they are taking even a further step to try to guard themselves from somehow accidentally bringing shame to God's name.
まあ、間違えて罪を犯さないように、こういうことをするんですけど、
And while perhaps we could justify that, maybe, it begins to separate us from the meaning of this word.
逆にそうしてしまうとこの名前の意味からどんどん離れてしまう、ことになってしまいます。
So traditionally when we read from the synagogue every single week, and we come across this word, we say Adonai when we read from the Torah.
なので私たちはアドナイと言います、この言葉が見
When we are not reading from the Torah and we see this word, we typically will say Hashem.
なので読んでる時はアドナイでも読んでない時には、ハシェムと言います。
Is that helpful? I don't know.
皆さん、
Okay, did I offend you too much? I hope not. I really do. Okay, let's see. What else can we look at? All right. This is just some information. There are 5 books contained in this scroll.
トーラの中には5つの章があります。
In your Bible, there are the first 5 books of what Christians call the Old Testament.
キリスト教では旧約聖書と言いますけど、
We do not call it the Old Testament,
私たちはそう言いません。
even though it's pretty old.
まあ結構古いですけど、そういうふうに言いま
We call it, these books, we call them the Torah.
す。そして私はトーラと言います。
The word Torah, the word, actually means many things.
トーラというのはいろんな意味がある言葉なんですけど、
The Torah can refer to this scroll.
このもの、今見てるものもトーラですし、
The Torah can refer to all of the books that you call the Old Testament.
旧約聖書のすべての、章のこともトーラとも言ってもいい
The
です。
Torah can refer to the entire Bible, including what you call the New Testament.
皆さんが新約聖書と呼んでいる部分も、トーラと呼んでも大丈夫です。
It can refer to many, many, many
い
things.
ろんな意味があります。
Some communities, when they say Torah, they refer to the arguments or the discussions of the rabbis about this text.
もう一つのトーラの意味は、そのラバイがそのいろんなトーラについて、聖書について議論する言葉、その発している言葉自体もトーラと言ってもいい、いう人もいます。
The text says, "You shall keep the Shabbat,"
それこの中には安息日を守らなきゃいけないと書いてあります。
but it doesn't tell you how.
でもどうやってやるかは教えてないです。書いてないです。
So the rabbis argue with themselves. It says you shall not do regular work. What's regular?
なのでその議論の中でラバイが議論する中で安息日はどうやって守るのかを議論します。
So the rabbis say that this is considered oral Torah.
これは口頭のトーラと言います。
Essentially what it means is the discussion helping the community to try to understand how to walk out the Torah in their lives.
なので書いてない、細かく書いてないものをラバイが議論してこれどういうふうにやっていくのかをコミュニティに教えるのもトーラと言っていいです。
That can be good,
それいいことでもあるし、
but sometimes it can be bad.
時にはちょっとそれも
What oftentimes happens, unfortunately, is the Torah says, do no ordinary work.
トーラには普通の仕事をしてはいけない、通常の仕事をしてはいけませんって書いてありますけど、
So if you're a lawyer,
弁護士なら
you should not practice law.
弁護士の仕事をしない
Maybe.
っていうこと意味ですかね。
But the rabbis say, we don't want to accidentally do work, so that we don't accidentally break the Torah, so they build a fence around the instruction.
ラバイは本当に罪を犯したくないがために、大きなそのフェンスを立て、すごく、まあいろいろと複雑なことになってしまうんですけど。
And the fence that they build is another law.
でまた実際結局新しい法律を作ってしまいます。
And that law says, do no work.
全く仕事をしてはいけないという解釈を取ることになります。
It's very close.
似てるんですけど、
just one word different.
これがないだけですね。通常の ordinary.
But maybe that makes a world of a difference.
でもそれって大きなことかもしれないです。
So now I can't turn the light switch on.
電気をつけるのも
I cannot tear toilet paper.
トイレットペーパーちぎるのも仕事です。
Because somebody might consider that work.
人によってはそれを仕事と解釈を取る人もいます。
You see, this is when we go too far.
ちょっと行き過ぎですよね。
We take the commands of God
神の、その
and we make them the commands of men.
人間の法律にしまいます。
And just because we thought we were defending the Torah,
トーラを守ろうとしていると思いきや、
what we actually did was we created an obstacle from people being able to actually obey.
本当に従うことが難しくてしまうオチに落ちてしまいました。
We're going to roll the scroll a little bit. I'm going to show you a few more things. And then any questions that you have, you should start thinking of them right now because I want to be aware of time.
今のうちに聞きたい質問をちょっと考えておいてください。その考えている間にちょっとドアをもうちょっと広げてもうちょっと見せたいものがありますので、今のうちに質問があればちょっと考えておいてください。
Ready? Thank you. The Torah is divided into 54 reading portions.
トーラは54個の、朗読の部分に分かれています。
The Torah is read about 4 times a week in every synagogue.
週4回読まれます。シナゴグで。
Okay. Throughout the Torah, there are several places where you will see something different. For example, this here.
トーラの中ではちょっと変わったものも時々ありますね。例えばこれは何でしょう。
It's a letter in Hebrew, like other letters.
これもヘブライ語の一つの文字なんですけど。
Only it's very, very, very large.
とてもでかいですね。
For every one of these instances in the Torah, there is a special meaning.
これ特別な意味が含まれています。
We're not going to talk about this one specifically, but I'm going to show you a very important one as we get towards the end of the Torah.
実際これについて言わないですけど、これのこういった珍しい部分についてちょっと話したいと思います。
Okay. This is a good place to stop to show you an example of a repair that was made in the Torah.
修理した部分を見せますね。
You can notice here that there's a dark mark around these letters. Here, if you look closely.
よく見るとちょっと周り、この文字の周りがちょっと。
And if you look very closely, you can see that there's a shiny surface here, but there's a dull surface here.
明るいところと暗いところ見えますか。
The shiny surface is actually the original text.
これは明るいところがオリジナルで。
The dull surface is the place where the letters had to be scraped away, and they had to be rewritten.
なのでその暗いところは実際にそのナイフでそこを消してでまた書き記された部分です。
Okay? Okay. This is the end of a book of the Torah.
これはトーラの中の一つの書の終わりです。
The end of a book of a Torah always looks exactly the same. It has about 4 lines of empty space between the end of a book and the beginning of the book.
なので4つの行を毎回開けます。一つの書の終わりに。
In English, you call these books Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy.
英語では、Genesis, Exodus ってこの5つの本を読みますけど、
And those receive their names to help you understand what's in the book.
その名前は何がこの創世記とかの中に何が入っているのかを見せる教えるためにこういう言い方がありますけ
The
ど、
word Genesis talks about origins.
創世記はその元には何があったのかを説明する本ですね。
But in Hebrew, it's totally different.
ヘブライ語は全く違います。
Actually, this book is the book of Leviticus,
こちらでレビ記です。
which spends most of its time talking about instructions for the priests.
その祭司がどういう行いをするのかを説明する本なんですよ、大体。
But in Hebrew, its name is Vayikra.
でもヘブライ語ではバイカという本です。
Hebrew gives the books the name of the first unique word that we find in the first line of the text of each book.
ヘブライ語では最初の行の言葉、入っている言葉をその本の名前にします。
So this is Vayikra. Vayikra.
バイクラっていう本にします。第1つ目の言葉なので。
Okay. Guys, we're going to go all the way back to... let's go to Deuteronomy 5. So we've got 2 books to go. Ready? New book?
いやいや、新しい本なので4行ありますね。
This is Bamidbar, the book of Numbers.
民数記。
トーラを自動で書いてなんか日本じゃなくて機械にさ自動で
Another repair.
面白いですよね。
めっちゃちゃう。
Book of Numbers. This is the book of Deuteronomy.
新明記ですね。
I'm going to go nice and slow. Too far. Let's go back. Yes. Mm-hmm. He does.
What are we looking for?
I'm looking for the 4th chapter of Deuteronomy, and then we're going to go to 32, which will get you ready for next week. Okay. Next panel. Okay. you're going to have to hold this one open, and then this one will stay by itself. Okay. This is probably one of the most important parts of the Torah as well.
ここもすごくトーラの大事な部分ですけど、
This is the Shema.
シマ
This is the declaration of God's unique nature.
神様のどういう存在なのかを語る場所ですけど、
In this declaration, we have two large letters.
2つの大きな文字がありますね。
This is an Ayin.
アインという言葉で
This
す。
is a Dalet.
これがね、文字です。
The rabbis say that there's a very specific reason that these letters are larger than the rest of the letters in the text.
ラバイによっては、これはなんで2つ大きな文字が書かれているか。
This says, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai alone, or Adonai is one.
神は一つであり、神は私たちの主であるイスラエルと宣言する場所なんですけど、
If you take this letter, Ayin,
この文字アインを取って、
and you push it together with this letter, Dalet,
ダレットくっつけると、
you get a word in Hebrew, Aid.
エイっていうヘブライ語の言葉になりますけど、
Aid is the word that for a witness.
エイドは保証人という
証言
証人
Like someone who has to testify in a court case that they observed something.
証人とは証言
Okay. The reason that this is very important, this is essentially a contract between God and the people of Israel.
神様とイスラエルの民との契約ですけど、
And they were called to be a living witness to God's unique nature.
彼らは神様の証人、生きる証人という役割を果たさなきゃいけないと思います。
So we say, anyone who has seen this text becomes a living witness to it.
これを見た人は必ず生きる証人。
What you choose to do with that is your responsibility.
しかしあなたはどういう行動を取るかはその自分の責任です。
Okay, we're going to roll to one last section, and then any questions they can begin to ask you while we're rolling, and that's
皆
fine.
さん質問をしていただきたいので、質問ある方は今。
Just one at a time, whoever you see, if anybody has any.
Right now?
Yeah, just ask him, and he'll.
So I know in Jewish culture you have different Ten Commandments or different understanding of the Ten Commandments. Like what's the exact one?
質問はそのユダヤの方々はその10回の違う解釈を持っている。それはどういう解釈なのか。
So I think what you're asking is about the different interpretations of which are the actual Ten Commands. That's probably a longer conversation than we... No, I mean, we can talk about it, but it's probably a little bit longer conversation than we have time for because you're right, it depends on how you read the text. And
It doesn't say 1 or 2.
there are no numbers there at all. Remember, the Torah is not... the Torah contains lots of things. It contains music. There are songs in here. It contains poetry. There's definitely poetry in here. It contains law. It contains history. But it is not a book of any of those things at all.
いろんな詩とか法律とか歌とかいろんなもので入ってますけど、それだけのものではないですね。
It is a book that tells about God's faithfulness and His love for all humanity.
人類に対しての忠実な愛の神の物語ですから。今から言ったのは10個の10回っていうのは10っていう言葉がついてないっていうのは大きな違いですけど、結構その10回について深く考えるとすごく時間がかかる議論になるので、それまた。
So if you're looking for laws, you will find them. But understanding the commands really begins with understanding the nature of God. And you cannot understand the nature of God if you do not understand how this instruction and all of His instructions are hung, so to speak.
Right.
And what I mean by that is like this banner here, it's hanging on two hooks. Do you see in the corner, the blue and white banner? Okay. The Torah also hangs on two hooks.
I see, in the sense that.
No, the two hooks are love God and love people. And Yeshua said, the whole of the Torah hangs on the two hooks of love the Lord your God and love your neighbor like yourself.
トーラっていうのはそこに飾ってあるもので、2つのフックで、なんだっけ、まあ、2つのフックで、なんだっけ、で、まあ、この2つの大事なものは、まあ、神を愛し、隣人を愛すっていうことなので、その2つのことを、理解しないと、トーラは、どんどんその全ては法律、いろんなやってはいけないことになってしまうので、そこが2つのフックを、ちゃんと理解しなければ、トーラはどんどんただの法律の方になってしまうので、そこは大事です。
This is the last thing I'd like to show you, and then I'll answer any questions you have. I know we're running out of time, Paul, so please forgive me.
ちょっと質問の前にもう一個だけちょっと話させてください。
Notice this page looks very different than all of the other pages.
すごく違いますよね。
Yes.
These two pages are different, no? There's a space in between them. This indicates one of two things, depending on where you find it, either poetry or music.
これは歌か詩の時にはこういう形式をとります。
In this case, it's music.
これは音楽です。
This is the Song of Moses, the second song of Moses.
モーセの歌、2つ目の歌なんですけど、
This is just before the end of Moses' life, right before he dies.
モーセが死ぬ前の場所なんですけど、
He writes this beautiful song
綺麗な歌を歌います。
that basically tells the children of Israel, be really careful.
イスラエルのために注意を
Be very, very, very careful to obey what God has told you.
神様が言ったことを忠実に守りなさいっていう歌です。
The first song of Moses is way back in Exodus.
一つ目のモーセの言葉は出エジプト記のことにある。
This one is called the Song of the Sea.
海の歌なんですけど、
And this one is just known as the Song of Moses.
この2つ目の歌はモーセの歌っていう簡単なシンプルな。
The Song of the Sea is a little different because it has 3 columns. And they say that columns on the right and our left represent the waters that have been pushed aside. And the column in the center represent God protecting the Israelites as they walked through on the dry ground.
まあ最初の海の歌は3本あって、でこっちとこっちはその海が分けられたところを象徴していて、真ん中は神様が導いてくれた真ん中の道っていうことで、見た目にもそういった歌はこういうふうに表示されます。
We are rolling the scroll to the very end of Deuteronomy, which is here. This is the end of the scroll.
これは一度我々のところですね。
This next Shabbat
次のすぐ日には
in the Chayim congregation,
ポール先生の集会の最後では
they will read from the end of the Torah,
最後から読んで、
and then they will roll the scroll all the way to the beginning,
で最初までずっとくるくる巻いて、
and they will read from the beginning of the Torah,
で最初から読みます。
because the Torah has no end.
トーラは終わりがない。
The day we finish,
終わった頃には
we immediately begin
ま
again.
た一から始めます。
When we come to the end of a book,
本の終わりに来
we
ると、
stand as an entire community,
皆さんが一緒に立って、
and we say Chazak Chazak Venit Chazek,
風先に外れて、
which means strength, strength, and may you be strengthened.
力、皆様力づけられるようにとお祈り。
We're strengthened by the words of God penetrating into our
神
heart.
様の言葉で私たちは力づけられます。
May I answer any questions
じゃ
for
あ
you?
質問をどうぞ。
スチューピッドなクエスチョンなんですけど
Any question? No stupid questions. Any question?
印刷をしたみたいにきれいに書かれてますよね。で、人が書いたんですよね。一人の人ですか？それともページごとにこう書いたのか、すごく不思議
Is it one person who wrote the whole thing, or is it many people who wrote individual parts?
Do you mean, is it one person who actually wrote this text on this paper? Or do you mean, is it one person who wrote the 5 books of Moses?
両方
Because those are different answers.
こちらの
こちらは、じゃあで はこちらは
Yeah, for this,
Okay.
this
Yeah.
scroll.
One person is responsible for writing the entire Sefer Torah, and another person can only contribute to it if it's damaged and it is sent to a professional for repairs.
なので、処理の人が、各責任を持っています。修理されなきゃいけない場合だけ、また違う人が責任を取って修理するっていうこともあり得るんですけど、処理の人が書く。
一人が書く、そしてこれを書くっていうことは見ながら書くということですよね。
You copy something?
見ながら。
You copy it from something else? Do you?
Oh, absolutely.
はい、もちろん。
もちろんそう。
Yeah. They are reading from a book which is called a tikkun, and tikkun is all of the text of the Torah with no punctuation, no changes, no chapters, it's the exact text of the Torah, but bound in a book so that they can always refer to make absolutely sure that they're not making any mistakes.
間違いがないように、そのテクンっていう本が常に横にあって、それを確認しながら。
Yeah, and the word tikkun refers to like a restoration, like to make something complete or something like that. And we use those books. We use the book exactly the same way, but we also use it to study. So if we're trying to teach a student to learn to read from the Torah, we have, maybe the Torah will be open, maybe they won't have the Torah, but we will have a tikkun, and we will teach them to read from the tikkun, so when they are preparing to read from the Torah, they will know exactly what to look at.
なので、生徒に教えるときもそのテクンを使って、多分これよりかはちょっと読みやすいというのもあって、生徒に先生がその読み方を教えるときにはとりあえずテクンをもうちょっと見やすいものを見て、それで練習して実際にこれを後で、読む練習をするっていう使い方があります。
そしてもうこれも古くなったからそろそろ書き始めないとねっていうとかそういうのあるんですか？
If a scroll tries to get a little bit old, do they be like, okay, maybe we should start writing a new one because this is getting a little older?
Most synagogues have at least 2 Torah scrolls.
大体
At least
最低でも2つは常に保管してあるんですね。
One is typically the scroll they use every single week to read from.
1つは毎週使うやつで、
And the other one is a scroll that they typically use on holidays.
これで祝日に使うやつだって2種類。
Because the holidays do not follow the regular reading order. So could you imagine, from 1 week to the next week, sometimes in 1 week time you have 2 holidays, plus a Shabbat. So that means you'd have to roll all the way this way, and roll all the way back, and roll all the way back. It's impossible.
時間かかるのでこれをやるの。なのでなんかお祭りの用と安息日用で分かれてて、そうすると
So most
読む場所も決まってくる。
communities will have a scroll that they use exclusively for the holidays.
なのでお祭り用がよくあります。
And this one they would use exclusively for the weekly reading. And as the scroll ages, which it will do, if it cannot be repaired, then they retire the scroll, and it is sent to a place called a geniza.
ゲニーザもう使わなくなったものはゲニーザっていうところに送られ
The
る。
geniza is essentially a tomb for sacred objects,
トーラのためのお墓なんですけど、そこに送ります。
where it's buried. So many Torah scrolls will be buried in very, very large synagogues, will have a geniza built into their
その
building,
中にもお墓があるところもあります。
a safe place to put to rest these
埋
words.
めるためにそのお墓がある。
じゃあもう一つごめんなさいたくさんあって
One more, someone else, then we can come back. If no one else, the one more, and then, yeah.
I've been just looking at the letters. What do they mean?
I don't know. This is marked by whoever built the Ayts I don't know.
Oh, okay.
With the Torah, I noticed that some of the words are lengthened, like it seems like the bar is longer, and also there are spaces in it.
True.
That's
Yeah.
not redacted stuff, or like what's the significance?
Nope. I don't know if you want to say the questions so that they understand the
なん
answer.
かその文字がちょっと長く書かれてるやつがあったみたいに気づいたんですけど、それはどういう意味ですか？
As I said, the Torah must have 42 lines of text,
前言ったように、42行ありまして、
and every scribe has a different handwriting.
皆さんは違う、文字のあれが違います、みんな違いますよね。
So, although they write in the same language, just like all of you may write in the same language, maybe my handwriting looks a little differently than yours does.
文字書くと見た目違いますけど、
So, I might write like this,
私はこういうように書くけど、
but maybe you write like this.
まあ他の人はこういう書き方かもしれないけど、
Now, they would both be the same height,
まあ高さは統一しなきゃいけないんですけど、
but you notice this one is narrower than this one.
こっちの方が短かったり長かった
It's
り
the same letter.
同じなんですけど、
So oftentimes what will happen is they must have the same numbers of words and they must have the same words on the same lines. But if you write with fat letters and I write with thin letters, then you may have to go like this to fill in the space where you had too many of these.
すごくその長く書く人はそのちゃんとした文字数を入れなきゃいけないので、それをきれいにやるためにちょっと長くしたりする人もいます。
This is not considered an error.
これは間違いとは
In fact,
意味じゃなくて、
it's considered necessary
必要ですよね。
to maintain continuity.
保つために。
Other question?
Did the scroll writer Polish or other countries? 100 years ago?
This one? For sure, this scroll was written by a scribe in Poland. Definitely.
Polish
A Polish Jew.
Polish Jew.
Yeah.
Do they?
Only Jews are allowed to make the Torah.
Do he learn in Poland, synagogue or other places?
I don't know who he was, but he was. I'm sure he was definitely living there when it was made.
ポーランド系ユダヤ人が書かれていて、そうですね。でユダヤ人しか書いちゃいけない。
シナゴーグにはこれ必ずあるっていう話だったんですけど、通訳しながらお願いします。
Every synagogue, you said, has a scroll.
At least
今
one.
メシアニックのコングリゲーションですごい世界中増えてると思うんですけど、
Messianic synagogues are growing around the world.
そういったところはこれ手に入れるの大変なんじゃない
Is it hard for Messianic synagogues to get scrolls like this?
Very often. Very difficult.
難しい時もありますね。
There exists a big prejudice between the Orthodox Jewish communities and Messianic
オーソドッ
communities.
クスとメシアニックの間ではちょっとした差別的なものもあり
I
ます。
might add, again, I don't mean to offend, but there also tends to be difficulties between most Christian communities and Messianic communities.
メシアニックとキリスト教の間でも、いろいろと揉めることもありますよね。
So, from the Jewish perspective, if I may, traditional, especially Orthodox Jews, view Messianic Jews as having abandoned their faith.
オーソドックスのユダヤ教は、メシアニックユダヤ教のことを完璧にユダヤ教を、諦めたっていう解釈するオーソドックスも
Because we acknowledge Yeshua as the Messiah.
イエシュアがメシア救い主っていうだけでもうそれはもうアウト。
On the other side, many churches, many Christian sects, maybe not any here, I don't know, but many view Messianics also as very strange. And typically they say things which are pretty offensive actually, like, you're just a Christian. Why don't you just go to church?
よくキリスト教が言うのは、もうそもそもクリスチャンと変わんないじゃんっていうキリスト教もいますけど、
And we would say that there is actually an important distinction.
それは大きな違いがあって、
God made Jewish people to be Jews,
ユダヤ人はユダヤ人として作られた神様
to fulfill a responsibility,
責任があって、
and He made non-Jews also to be non-Jews and to fulfill a responsibility.
異邦人も責任があってその果たすべき任務がある。
And the New Covenant scriptures, the New Testament, seems very clear to me that we have a responsibility to partner together for the restoration of all things for the sake of Yeshua's kingdom in this earth.
なんですけど、神学者よる聖書では明らかになっていると思うのは、異邦人もユダヤ人もパートナーシップで協力して、いろいろと神様の御国を建てることが書いてあると私は信じています。
ということはそのメシアニックコングリゲーションでこのトーラスクロール持ってないところもあるっていうこと
So some Messianic congregations don't have a Torah scroll.
I don't know of a single Messianic synagogue that does not have a Torah
でも
scroll.
私が知ってる限りは、知らないですけど、大体みんなトーラ持ってる。
So how does that happen? There are a few of us, like me, and a few of my friends, who have very good relationships with the Orthodox community, and there are many sofarim, scribes, who will make repairs. It's almost impossible to get a new Torah commissioned for Messianic synagogue. They won't do it. So almost all of our synagogues have scrolls. In some ways, I think are more valuable because they represent communities that have, for many of them, have gone on to the grave, and we have an opportunity to carry on exactly what you have the opportunity to carry on here. The memory of whole communities by having these scrolls preserved and defended, not just preserved, but defended, loved and cherished.
なんでメシカンシナゴグがやっぱみんなトーラ持ってるかというと、結局その私みたいなすごいオーソドックスのコミュニティとすごいいい関係を持ったメシアニックがいることによって修理されたトーラは結構あるんですけど、新しく作られるのはほとんどないと、それはありえないと。ただ私の考えだとやっぱり古い修理されたトーラの方がもう歴史もあり、いろいろ話やストーリーがあるので、こっちの価値あるんじゃないかなと私は思います。
Could you just distinguish between the synagogue and the Kehillah, which is the congregation? I'm from a Vancouver Kehillah.
Yeah.
But we don't call ourselves a synagogue. 1, 2, we don't have the Torah scroll. So I'm just feeling in us that we are one of the congregation that don't have a Torah scroll.
シナゴグとテヒラの違いについて聞きたいです。
Yeah. Oh boy, where to begin here? Okay. Not every group that defines them as Messianic are Jewish. That's thought number one.
すべてメシアニックという名をつけるものはユダヤと限らないです。
The word Messianic comes from the word Messiah. And really it just means that you are a believer in the Jewish Messiah.
なのでユダヤ人のヤシュアを信じているのが、そういう意味を持ったのがメシアニックっていう言葉なんですけど。
Now, I may be stepping again in some sticky distinctions. I don't know your viewpoints.
言葉を気をつけたいんですけど、皆さんちょっとあんまり
But I'm never afraid of stepping in sticky things. So here we go. There is a big difference, in my view, of a Messianic synagogue and a Messianic community.
なのでメシアニックシナゴグとメシアニックコミュニティの違いがあると思います。
To me, a synagogue is a place where Jewish people come together to live lives as Jews in Jewish community, in Jewish culture, in a Jewish context.
シナゴグっていうのはユダヤ人が来て、そうやってコミュニティで一緒に生きていって、そうやってユダヤ人として生きていく、コミュニティとして生きていく場所と。
They choose to continue to be obedient to Torah.
なので彼らはそのトーラを従うことを決めた人たちがそこに行く。
As best they can.
できる限り。
Okay. A Messianic community may not have within it Jewish people.
メシアニックコミュニティはユダヤ人がいないかもしれない。
They may have some Jews,
一人二人いるかもしれないけど、
but they may not have a rabbi.
ラバイがいなかったり、
They may believe many of the same principles in the Messianic synagogue,
信じること一緒かもしれないけど、
but they don't necessarily view themselves as a Jewish community.
でも自分たちをユダヤ人として見ていない。
So does it make one better or worse than the other?
一つが悪い、一つが悪いとかじゃなくて、
Certainly not.
そういうことじゃなくて、
It just makes them a little different.
ちょっと違うだけです。
Okay? Can a Messianic community become a Messianic synagogue at some point?
メシアニックコミュニティがシナゴグになることができますか？
Maybe.
可能性はあるけど。
Maybe. My opinion is you need to have a core group of Jewish people before you should be calling yourself a synagogue. And in my opinion, your leader should be a Jew. Your senior leader should be a Jew.
ユダヤ人で、本当そこのユダヤ人がちゃんと存在しないと、ちょっとそれはシナゴグと呼ぶのはちょっと違うんじゃない
Now that's my view, my personal view. Okay? Many communities have a senior leader that is not Jewish, but let's say that senior leader may be married to a Jew.
そのリーダーがユダヤ人と結婚している可能性もありますし。
For my community, my congregation, our synagogue in Boca Raton, we welcome Jews, of course, but we also welcome non-Jews. However, what we communicate in our congregation is this. We believe that our synagogue is called to reach out to, specifically as our primary mission, Jewish people who do not yet know the Messiah. Okay? And so, when we welcome non-Jews to participate with us, which we do with open arms, what we say to them is, you are welcome to be a part of this community, but that does not give you leave to be the culture definers.
Right.
Okay? And that's really, really important. It doesn't mean that we don't want to welcome your gifts and strengths. It doesn't mean that you aren't fully able to participate in community life. But you do not get to define community life for Jewish people if you are not a Jew.
私たちのシナゴグの例で言うと、私たちはやっぱりそのちゃんとしたそのユダヤ人、私たちのミニストリーというのはユダヤ人、メシアを、イエスを知らないユダヤ人に対してのミニストリーが強い、それが一番なので、私たちどっちかというと、やっぱりユダヤ人がメインで、もちろん違法人も来てもいいんですけど、違法人というのはユダヤ人じゃなければ、やっぱりその役割がと違って、やっぱり私たちはユダヤ人のコミュニティであって、でも、違法人もいてもいいけど、やっぱりそのユダヤ人の文化を保ちつつ守りつつ、ユダヤ人イエシュアのことを紹介するためのコミュニティなので、そっちはちょっと尊重していることもあるっていうちょっと違った。
We really do want and need each other. Jews and Gentiles need each other.
ユダヤ人もお互い必要なんです。
You may or may not know that 90% of Jewish people who come to faith in Yeshua through the loving, I'm going to use these real carefully, loving, humble, and compassionate testimony of a non-Jew.
ユダヤ人でそのイエシュアを信じるようになる人は大体9割ぐらいは、本当に、へりくだって愛を持った、憐れみ深い、違法人の証から、救われたケースです。だから9割が救われたケースなので、そこを皆さん覚えておいてください。
Okay, はい、ちょっと
I'm not in charge, so
ちょっと皆さんお席へ座ってください。Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I'm sweaty, so I'm going to close this.